Hello everyone, welcome back to planetofthecollector.com. I should really check, I'm pretty sure it's Planet of the Collector or The Planet of the Collector. Once again, this is, if you haven't seen my first episode, this is basically not really a show so much as it is like just me wanting to share all the things that I've collected over the last 30 years. 30 plus years actually, toys, comic books, sports and non-sports cards. I have so many of all these things, and I've enjoyed them my entire life, and I want to share them with the world. So hopefully you can find, that was so off-timed, so hopefully you can find, so ill-timed I guess would be a better way to say it, a present here for yourself. Treat yourself, or for your friends or family, holidays coming up, and as well as birthdays, or just because, hey, I really like you, this is something I saw that I think you would like, here you go. So today we're going to be doing toys. I have some toys to share with folks, and we'll start with one that it's probably a controversial toy right now. Not controversial in the way that you think. It's not like adults only or not suitable for work type thing, but it's a Carlos Correa bobblehead from the Houston Astros. As most of you baseball fans know, there was a scandal involving the Houston Astros and their World Series versus the Los Angeles Dodgers two seasons ago, or was it last season? I can't remember. Anytime the Dodgers or the Red Sox are in the World Series, I stop paying attention. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, guys. But as you can see over here, there we go. Anyway, so this is a pretty cool, Rookie of the Year bobblehead. So it came out the year after he won the Rookie of the Year. I understand he is kind of tainted right now because he's part of that team. But, if you think back to the Black Sox, for example, if you guys never heard of that, there's a great movie called 8 Men Out, starring John Cusack, D.B. Sweeney, Charlie Sheen, and I know I'm missing a few other or in the time, they're very young actors in their career. Like, I want to say it was in the late 80s. This movie came out early 90s at the latest. I'm pretty sure it was 80s. But yeah, it's about the Black Sox scandal of 1919, I think, or maybe it was 1918, but somewhere around there, the World Series, when the White Sox threw the World Series, and one of the greatest baseball players of all time, Shoeless Joe Jackson, was a part of that team, and he was never allowed to play baseball again, but many considered him still to be one of the greatest baseball players of all time, because of what he did before that. Plus, there's doubt that he actually was involved, even though quite a few of them were involved. Anyway, it's a great movie. You should check it out. Also, just check out the historical, the history of it in general. Like, look up online. There's a lot of stories out there. But anyway, as far as Carlos Correa goes, he's a young man. Obviously, him and a lot of other players made a mistake. Cheating is never good. And they probably didn't pay for it as much as some would think. But here's the thing: he's a young player. He has a lot of time to turn things around himself. Like everybody, most things you should be able to come back from and be redeemed if you show a willingness and an actual drive to become a better person and redeem yourself. But we're all human beings. We should reserve judgment on people unless they're willing, unless they're not willing to change. Then that's, whatever. You just write them off. You don't need those kind of people. But anyway, Carlos Correa, I don't believe is one of those people. And this bobblehead will be fun for anybody who's an Houston Astros fan and a fan of the Carlos Correa himself. So, next item is, very early on, this is only the second episode of these things I've done, to promote my website, Planet of the Collector, and my eBay sales. I'm going to try to obviously build up a reputation, a good reputation, so people will want to come to my website and buy from me, because I will have so much more on the website than I will on eBay. But I like to put stuff on eBay just to kind of get, people get to know me. And that's what this YouTube video is for as well. Anyway, so next thing I got up here is a Star Wars piece, because of course I'm gonna have Star Wars. If you guys remember Micro Machines, if anybody was born in the late 70s or anytime in the 70s to the 80s, maybe some of you 90s kids might remember these, but these toys were very, very popular. They might still be around, but I don't even know. But Micro Machines were a parent's worst nightmare, and but they could be also turned into a weapon. Like as you've seen Home Alone, I don't mean like that kind of weapon, but in Home Alone, Kevin uses these to hurt the burglar's feet. And it hurt many a parent's feet. Oh, my Xbox just restarted. So anyway, Star Wars Micro Machines, and if you remember those commercials, check up the 80s commercials for these. They were a lot of fun. I think it was these, but they had that gentleman who could speak really fast and still be somewhat intelligible. Like you could understand what he was saying, but it was kind of an amazing commercial. Anyway, Star Wars Micro Machines. And the last lot of stuff I'm bringing up here are, these are all going to be on sale individually, and unfortunately the boxes are not in the best shape. The cards, as we in the toy collecting business call them, the cards are the back of the toy that the plastic goes on. And these, as you can tell by my shirt, Degeneration X, what up, Badass Billy Gunn, Road Dogg Jesse James, Triple H, X-Pac, China. Yep. I'm old school wrestling fan. I don't really watch new stuff as much. But this is all my era, these toys. And I bought them. Well, I'll tell you the story about them in a second. But let's show you what they are first. But here's Lita. If you remember Lita, she was part of the Hardy Boys crew. And as you can see, it's kind of, the cards are kind of bent. They're not in the greatest shape. I bought them when I was working at Blockbuster in college. And they all went on sale for really cheap. One of them extremely cheap, which I was really excited about because he's my favorite wrestler of all time and many people's favorite wrestlers of all time. I also got Chris Jericho, C2J, if you remember him. Yeah. So I don't know if he's still in the WWF or this is when it was still called the WWF before the World Wildlife Federation, who I also support, decided to go after them for some reason, even though they'd always shared the acronym. So I don't know. But anyway, this is back when it was still WWF, so that's kind of cool. He's got the locker in there, because he smashes people's heads into there. Apparently, I don't remember him doing that. And I got Stone Cold. Steve Austin. I don't know. I'll show you the back. Well, the back's kind of cool because it's got the ring. I wish I had the ring. Wish I could offer that, but maybe I can find that somewhere for somebody. But anyway, unfortunately, Steve is not in the best. He's probably in the worst shape because his plastic's a little off the card, as you can see, unfortunately. So this one will be a little bit cheaper than the others, who are all pretty sealed. He's also kind of weather worn. He looks like when we had him at the store, he was out in the sun. I don't remember the sun coming into the store that often, but anyway. So there's Steve Austin, and then we got another one of my favorites. He goes with my shirt. Oh no, he's off the card too, so he'll be a little cheaper too. Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and all you old school wrestling fans might remember when he first came out, he was kind of a dandy. And if you guys don't know what a dandy is, a guy dresses real fancy and speaks very posh. I don't remember him having an English accent, but he had some kind of an accent. But Hunter Hearst Helmsley turned into Triple H, and he turned into a badass because he wanted to be a champion. And in order to do that, you gotta sell yourself to the public. Because yes, obviously wrestling, the outcomes are fake, but you can't discount these men and women as athletes, because they are. Because what they do is very painful and takes a lot, and takes a lot out of you. And it is quite an endurance sport, and they obviously do a lot of training too. So it's not just what we see on TV. And it's a hillbilly soap opera. That's what it is. Just a bunch of people and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love wrestling. I haven't watched it in a really long time, but when I was a kid, I watched Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, and then I stepped away for a little while, but then came back when Stone Cold and these next two guys came into the fray, because I love these two. These are my two favorite wrestlers of all time. Hulk Hogan is probably 3. I should say he's number 1, but he's not. These two guys are. So number 2, The Undertaker. I love The Undertaker in all his iterations. When he first came out, it was just the guy with the big dark hat and all black, and was just scary. And then he became this guy, the biker one. And oh, his card's off too. Man, Undertaker might be cheaper. I might keep this one. We'll see what happens. We'll see how much I can get for it, but it's not what I want. Oh, I'll keep this one. I wouldn't mind, but I love me some Undertaker. And I think he's still wrestling, if not just retired very, very recently. And then, of course, here, my favorite wrestler of all time, and it's kind of an easy pick, and everybody else's favorite wrestler of all time, because he's also one of the biggest movie stars in the world. But first, before he was that, he was the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, and that is The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This is probably the prize of this collection, and here, check out his price. We were selling him for 49 cents. What the hell? I was going to buy this at full price. I'm glad I waited. I can't believe nobody bought it. But anyway, 49 cents. Yes, the card's a little bent, but this one is sealed still. And, The Rock is the greatest. And he's got, the belt there, of course, because he's, the people's champion. And and every time he comes back to wrestling, I watch again for a little bit. He doesn't usually stay very long, but he's always there. He's usually there to promote a movie. But I'm good with that. Gotta love The Rock. Everybody loves Dwayne Johnson. He's an awesome, awesome man and performer and actor and dad and all that stuff. Anyway, so that'll do it for this episode. And next time we'll talk some more comics and we'll talk some more toys. I will have some shows on some cards, but I have a lot of sets that you'd probably want, but I don't have any individual cards I sold those off and gave those away a long, long time ago. But I have some fun stuff, but we'll do some cards one of these days. But anyway, I am Daniel Villalobos. I don't even think I said my name at the top of the hour or the top of the show. But I am Daniel Villalobos, the Collector, and visit my website, Planet of the Collector, because I like to collect treasures so you don't have to.